Hello friends, what's up? Big news first up. We have finally reached 1 lakh subscribers on YouTube, and it's only been possible because of your love and support. All of you have stood by us during this challenging times when we have been making a lot of content from home, and together, you and us, we have finally been able to reach 1 lakh subscribers on YouTube. We have unlocked this milestone. So a big thank you once again and a big hug to all of you for making it happen. Now, coming to today's video. See, by now POCO has established itself in the Indian market, even though it has a very thin portfolio, a lot of which has actually grown this year. It started 2021 with the POCO M3, followed it up with the POCO X3 Pro, and now we have the POCO M3 Pro 5G, which, as the name suggests, is company's first 5G smartphone in India, and also it is the first that does not feel like a genuine disruptor. Now, why I say that? Well, I'm going to try and explain that in this video, so please watch it till the very end. You're watching India Today Tech. I am Manas Tiwari, and this is a review of the POCO M3 Pro 5G. As the name suggests, the POCO M3 Pro 5G is a successor of the POCO M3, which was launched earlier this year. Its price starts at Rs 13,999, while the other variant costs 15,999, and both these variants are actually Rs 3,000 more expensive than the variants of the POCO M3. And for that extra amount, what you get here is a new design language, a Dimensity 700 chipset, and of course a 90Hz display. So we're going to talk about all of that in detail, but before that, let me remind you once again that even though we have crossed the 1 lakh subscriber mark on YouTube, this is still a fast growing community of tech enthusiasts. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do it now. Also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on any updates from our side. I had absolutely loved the POCO M3 because of its unique design language, which made it stand out from the otherwise crowded market of affordable smartphones, and the same goes for the POCO M3 Pro 5G as well. Yes, that back panel looks very inspired by the Samsung Galaxy S21 series, but it has developed its own identity and has become very popular among smartphone enthusiasts. The back panel is of course made up of plastic, or as the companies like to call it, polycarbonate. It is quite reflective, catches a lot of fingerprint smudges and shines a lot, but I think a lot of smartphone users are probably also gonna like it. The design becomes important for POCO as well, since it has been largely using Xiaomi's hardware and rebranding their smartphones in different markets. In this case, the Redmi Note 10 5G. The camera module has a different finish than the rest of the rear body, and that's what helps the phone stand out from other devices in the same price segment. The smartphone comes in 3 color options: Cool Blue, Power Black and Poco Yellow. I had the blue color variant for review, as you can see, but all 3 colors look quite good. Now POCO has used this camera module to showcase its branding, but for some reason, someone at POCO thought that it would be a great idea to show the branding twice, not just once, and that is why it reads POCO designed by POCO for some weird reason. Now I don't know how to feel about it. What are your thoughts? You let me know in the comments section for sure. The other design elements are usual: power button and volume buttons on the right, SIM card tray on the left, and Type-C USB port at the bottom. The 3.5mm headphone jack is on the top, while the either side houses a speaker. The power button also doubles up as your fingerprint sensor. The smartphone is now 18 grams lighter than the POCO M3, but that is mostly because of a lighter 5000 mAh battery the company has used on this device. See, overall, I like how POCO is trying to, establish different identities for its smartphones, and even in this case, the POCO M3 Pro 5G manages to distinguish it from the other mid-range smartphones. I mean, the challenge of keeping it clean aside, this offers a very good design language, also a very comfortable grip for most users. Now, a genuine upgrade on the POCO M3 Pro 5G is the 90Hz display, which is still quite uncommon in this price segment. The POCO M3 Pro 5G features a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus LCD panel with Corning Gorilla Glass 3 protection. The smartphone runs 60Hz refresh rate out of the box, and you will have to manually switch it to 90Hz. But it's good to see POCO bringing this display to an affordable category. What's even better is that this is an adaptive display, which means that the refresh rate will automatically adjust itself to 50 Hz, 60 Hz, 90 Hz, depending upon what is actually running on the screen. So that not only helps save battery, but it also gives you a more personalized experience on the phone. I found the display just fine for daily use. It is sharp, smooth, and does the job on most occasions in outdoor conditions. However, the brightness and colors could have been better. The contrast is on the higher side, and that doesn't make for a good streaming experience. The dynamic range is also very average. I have very mixed feelings about the display on the Poco M3 Pro 5G. It seems good for your daily usage and also for gaming, but probably not for streaming video content on the phone. The Poco M3 Pro 5G is an important device for the company because it is also the first to come with a MediaTek chipset in the country. Thankfully though, it uses one from the Dimensity series and not the Helio or the other MediaTek series. Poco has equipped the phone with Dimensity 700 processor, which delivers significantly better performance than the Qualcomm Snapdragon 662 chipset used on the Poco M3. It comes with dual SIM connectivity and also 5G support. The internal storage on both the variants can further be expanded using a micro SD card. Both the RAM and storage should be enough for most buyers, but I will advise you to opt for the 6GB RAM model. The smartphone doesn't do much wrong when it comes to everyday usage. It seamlessly switches between apps, menus, sends notifications and more. Replying to messages, emails and streaming content also doesn't lead to any lags or issues. Now, I played a number of games on the Poco M3 Pro 5G, including Call of Duty Mobile, Asphalt 9 and Modern Ops. Nope, I still did not run Battlegrounds Mobile India on this phone. For that, I am still using the Mi 11 Ultra, and do not ask me anything about its availability please, because we still don't have any update on that. But on this one, I ran a lot of other games and I did not feel any issues in terms of frame rate or the performance. The performance was more or less quite satisfactory on the Poco M3 Pro 5G. On the software front, the smartphone runs MIUI based on Android 11 out of the box. We have learned that Poco is working on its own software which should come to its smartphones at some point, but that's unlikely to happen anytime soon. For now, you get a decent experience, at least better than what we have seen on previous Xiaomi and Poco smartphones. There are less bloatware and bugs on the phone which enhance your daily experience. Now, this is one department where Poco hasn't changed much, and quite unfortunately as well. The Poco M3 Pro 5G still uses the same camera setup as what we saw on the more affordable Poco M3. This phone comes with a 48 megapixel primary camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. On the front, there is a 8 megapixel selfie camera. Now, I can kind of live with the fact that you don't actually get an upgrade on the camera front on this phone, which I strongly believe that you should have. But what's more baffling is that there is no ultra wide angle lens on this phone. And for any phone that costs rupees 15,000, I think it should be mandatory. Also, I see a lot of people using the ultra wide angle lens or the camera more than the macro lens. So maybe that's one thing that Poco could have corrected on this phone, but it has unfortunately not. The camera interface is the same as the other Poco smartphone. It has all the usual options like photo, video, portrait, night, panorama and 48MP mode, but the options are limited. The camera performance is satisfactory since the setup is the same as the Poco M3. The picture quality, detailing, colors and sharpness is also identical. Most images in daylight impress. You can see in the image samples that the close-up shots are sharp and punchy. The sky and building look good in the wide shot, but you can see that the detailing isn't that great. The indoor shots have visible noise both in normal photos as well as on the portrait shots. The macro lens does a decent job, but images can have a painting-like effect. Now, despite these limitations, a lot of images from the rear camera are Insta-worthy, but the phone slightly struggles in low light conditions. The details are not that great in night and a lot of grains creep into the pictures as well. Coming to the front camera, the selfies came out well in ideal light conditions. The portrait mode separates the subject from the background and the images are well lit too. The video recording capability on the Poco M3 Pro 5G is restricted to 1080p at 30 frames per second. See, back in Feb, I was really impressed by the camera performance on the Poco M3, but that had to do a lot with the fact that that smartphone costs rupees 10,000, and to see an affordable rupees 10,000 smartphone do so well on the camera front was really good. But now for a phone that costs rupees 5,000 more, you want that extra punch, a bit of extra features. That is something that the Poco M3 Pro lacks in this department. See, one of the complaints that I had with the Poco M3 Pro was that it took forever to charge. That phone shipped with a 18-watt fast charger, which took more than 2 hours to charge that 6000 mAh battery pack. Now, Poco has fixed that problem with this phone, but unfortunately, to do that, it has actually reduced the battery size. So you still get the same 18-watt charger with the Poco M3 Pro 5G, but instead of a 6000 mAh battery, this one packs a 5000 mAh battery. A lot of people might still find it enough for their daily use, but others may look at it as a downgrade as well. Now here's the fun bit, guys, which I actually learned after shooting this video, and that is that the Poco M3 Pro 5G actually ships with a 22.5 watt fast charger. Now what happens though is that because of the processor Poco has used the Dimensity 700 processor, it actually restricts fast charging to just 18 watt. So what happens because of that is that even though you get a better 22.5 watt fast charger, you actually can't make use of this charging tech, and that's kind of disappointing as well. Also, I'm shooting this video on the front camera of the Poco M3 Pro 5G at 1080p 30 frames per second. So now you also have an idea about the picture quality on this phone. See, the Poco M3 Pro 5G manages to undercut the Poco X3 and also the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And a lot of upgrades that you get on this smartphone are actually targeted towards the gaming enthusiasts. You get a 90Hz display in under Rs 15,000 category. There is also an improved Dimensity 700 processor and decent battery life as well. But the upgrades stop right there. The camera, as I told you, is exactly the same as the Poco M3, and again the ultra wide angle lens should have been there. It's not. The battery is also being reduced. The battery size has been reduced from 6000 mAh to 5000 mAh. So that is something that you have to look at. And if camera is your preference, then you can definitely consider the Redmi Note 10 Pro and even the Redmi Note 10s which are there. Also, one major advantage with this phone is that it comes with 5G support now, which is again very uncommon in this price category. Only Realme 8 5G is one rare phone that offers that connectivity or that support. Now, 3 things that we liked about this phone. First has to be the display. The high refresh rate is very uncommon in this price point, so that is something I think you would appreciate. Good performance. I mean, I would say that the processor is very decent for the price and it should do well. The third thing that I liked about it is, of course, the battery life, which is still quite decent despite Poco reducing the size. Now, what I did not like about this phone, 3 things that we did not like. First has to be the camera performance. The camera performance is pretty average and you expect more from a phone that costs Rs 15,000. Second has to be the lack of ultra wide angle lens, which I think should have been there. And third, I would say the charging capability could have been, and I think should have been better. They could have actually shipped the same 33 watt fast charger, which also comes with the X series smartphones, but that's something Poco decided against. Now, what is the India Today rating for the Poco M3 Pro 5G? Well, we'll give this phone 7.5 out of 10. So that's our rating for this phone. If you like this video, then of course subscribe to our channel, also hit the bell icon. And if you have any feedback, if you want this phone to be compared with another phone, if there's any particular feature that you want me to talk about more in detail, let us know in the comment section as well, and we'll definitely try to bring all that content for you as well. Thank you.